exploring the fascinating concept of shifting into higher dimensions. Welcome back, Starseeds. Before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe and also check out my description below for free moon reading and how to attract wealth with your DNA. The concept of dimensions has been around for centuries, but in recent years, there has been a surge in interest in the idea of shifting into a higher dimension. While the idea may seem abstract or esoteric to some, it has gained popularity among spiritual seekers, alternative health practitioners, and even scientists. So, what exactly do we mean by dimensions? In physics, dimensions are used to describe the physical space in which we live. We live in a three-dimensional world, meaning we can move in three directions: up and down, left and right, and forward and backward. However, in the realm of spirituality and consciousness, dimensions are used to describe states of being. According to many spiritual teachers, we are currently in the process of shifting from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. The third dimension is often described as a state of duality, where there is a sense of separation between ourselves and the world around us. In the third dimension, we experience fear, ego, and competition. In contrast, the fifth dimension is often described as a state of consciousness where love, joy, and unity are the norm, and fear and separation are no longer present. While the concept of shifting into a higher dimension may seem abstract, there are several signs that can indicate that one is in the process of shifting. Identifying these signs can be helpful in navigating one's spiritual journey and embracing the transformation that is taking place. In this video post, we will explore 8 signs that may indicate that you are shifting into the fifth dimension. By understanding these signs and trusting your own intuition, you can embrace the shift and move towards a state of higher consciousness and greater peace. One of the key signs of shifting into the fifth dimension is a heightened intuition. Intuition is often described as the ability to know something without using logic or reasoning. It is a sense of inner knowing that is beyond the mind and the 5 senses. In the third dimension, intuition may be seen as unreliable or even dismissed altogether. However, as we shift into the fifth dimension, intuition becomes a more important part of our lives. It is seen as a valuable tool for navigating the world around us and making decisions that are in alignment with our highest good. One aspect of heightened intuition is increased sensitivity to energies. We are all energetic beings, and in the third dimension, we may be largely unaware of the subtle energies that surround us. However, as we shift into the fifth dimension, our sensitivity to these energies increases. We may be able to feel the energy of a room or a person, and we may be more aware of the impact that our own energy has on the world around us. Another aspect of heightened intuition is the ability to pick up on subtle messages from the universe. These messages may come in the form of signs, synchronicities, or even dreams. They may be difficult to understand or interpret at first, but as our intuition develops, we become more adept at recognizing and understanding these messages. So, how can you cultivate your intuition and develop this important tool for navigating the world around you? There are several practices that can help, including meditation, mindfulness, and journaling. By taking time to connect with your inner self and quieting the mind, you can create space for your intuition to emerge. As we shift into the fifth dimension, another sign that may emerge is increased empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. It is a crucial aspect of human connection and is often associated with compassion and kindness. In the third dimension, empathy may be limited to those closest to us, such as family and friends. However, as we shift into the fifth dimension, our capacity for empathy expands. We may feel a deeper connection with others, including those we have never met before. We may be able to sense the emotions of others more easily and be more attuned to their needs. This deeper connection with others can lead to a desire to help others. As our empathy expands, we may feel a sense of responsibility to alleviate the suffering of those around us. We may be drawn to volunteer work or other forms of service, as we seek to make a positive impact on the world. However, it is important to note that increased empathy can also be challenging. We may find ourselves feeling overwhelmed by the emotions of others or struggling to find a balance between caring for ourselves and caring for others. It is important to prioritize self-care and set healthy boundaries to avoid burnout. As we shift into the fifth dimension, another sign that may emerge is a greater sense of inner peace. Inner peace is a state of being in which one feels calm, centered, and content. It is a state of mind that is free from worry, fear, and anxiety. In the third dimension, inner peace may be elusive. We may find ourselves constantly striving for success, seeking external validation, and feeling overwhelmed by the demands of daily life. However, as we shift into the fifth dimension, our perspective may shift. We may begin to prioritize our inner state above external accomplishments, seeking to cultivate a sense of peace and harmony within ourselves. This sense of inner peace can be especially important in the fifth dimension. As we navigate the changes and challenges that come with this transformation, a sense of calmness and centeredness can help to ground us and provide a sense of stability amidst chaos. Inner peace can also help us to connect more deeply with our inner guidance and intuition, allowing us to make decisions that are aligned with our highest good. So, how can we cultivate a greater sense of inner peace? One approach is to practice mindfulness meditation, which involves focusing on the present moment and observing one's thoughts and feelings without judgment. This practice can help to cultivate a sense of calmness and centeredness, even in the midst of challenging circumstances. It is also important to cultivate a sense of self-love and self-compassion. By treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can cultivate a sense of inner peace that radiates outward, positively impacting our relationships and interactions with others. As we shift into the fifth dimension, one of the most significant signs may be a shift in priorities. In the third dimension, we may prioritize material possessions, external validation, and achievements. However, as we move into the fifth dimension, our priorities may shift towards experiences, relationships, and personal growth. Experiences become more important as we realize the value of living in the present moment and savoring each experience. Instead of focusing on accumulating material possessions, we may prioritize activities and adventures that bring us joy and enrich our lives. This may include travel, creative pursuits, or simply spending time in nature. Relationships also become a priority as we shift into the fifth dimension. We may place greater emphasis on cultivating authentic connections with others, rather than seeking external validation through superficial relationships. This may involve letting go of toxic relationships that no longer serve us and prioritizing those relationships that are mutually supportive and nurturing. Finally, personal growth becomes a priority as we shift into the fifth dimension. Instead of seeking external validation or relying on material possessions to define our sense of self-worth, we may prioritize our own growth and development. This may involve exploring new interests, learning new skills, or simply taking time for self-reflection and introspection. As we shift into the fifth dimension, another sign that may emerge is a surge in creativity. Creativity is a powerful force that allows us to express ourselves, connect with others, and bring new ideas and perspectives into the world. In the third dimension, we may find ourselves feeling stuck or uninspired, struggling to access our creative potential. However, as we shift into the fifth dimension, this may change. We may find that inspiration and ideas flow more easily, and that our creative endeavors take on a new depth and richness. This surge in creativity can manifest in many different ways. Some may find themselves drawn to artistic pursuits, such as painting, writing, or music. Others may find themselves inspired to innovate and create new solutions to problems in their personal or professional lives. Whatever form it takes, this surge in creativity can be a powerful source of inspiration and fulfillment. So, why does this surge in creativity occur? One possible explanation is that as we shift into the fifth dimension, we are able to access a higher level of consciousness and awareness. This expanded state of being allows us to tap into a deeper wellspring of inspiration and ideas, unlocking our full creative potential. To tap into this surge in creativity, it can be helpful to cultivate practices that support creative expression. This may include regular journaling or brainstorming sessions, seeking out new sources of inspiration and learning, or simply allowing yourself the time and space to explore and experiment with different creative pursuits. As we shift into the fifth dimension, another powerful sign that may emerge is an increase in synchronicities. Synchronicities are meaningful coincidences that seem to defy rational explanation, often occurring at just the right time to provide guidance or support. In the third dimension, we may dismiss synchronicities as mere coincidences or chalk them up to chance. However, as we shift into the fifth dimension, we may begin to see them as a powerful force that can guide us on our path. Synchronicities can take many different forms. It may be a chance encounter with someone who has just the advice or support we need. It may be receiving a message from the universe through a song, a symbol, or a dream. Whatever form it takes, synchronicities are often deeply meaningful and seem to come at just the right time to provide guidance or support. One possible explanation for the increase in synchronicities as we shift into the fifth dimension is that our connection to the universe becomes more open and receptive. We may become more attuned to the subtle messages and signs that are constantly being sent our way, allowing us to recognize and act on them more readily. To cultivate a deeper connection to synchronicities, it can be helpful to cultivate a sense of openness and receptivity. This may involve practicing mindfulness, meditation, or other forms of spiritual practice that help us to quiet our minds and tune into our inner wisdom. It may also involve staying attuned to the signs and messages that are being sent our way, and trusting that the universe is always guiding us on our path. As we shift into the fifth dimension, another sign that may emerge is a greater connection to nature. This connection can take many different forms, from a deeper appreciation for the beauty and complexity of the natural world, to a sense of peace and rejuvenation from spending time in nature. In the third dimension, we may have been disconnected from nature, seeing it primarily as a resource to be exploited for our own purposes. However, as we shift into the fifth dimension, this perspective may begin to shift. We may begin to see ourselves as an integral part of the natural world, and recognize the importance of protecting and preserving it for future generations. This deeper connection to nature can be a source of profound healing and rejuvenation. Spending time in nature can help us to reconnect with our own inner wisdom and intuition, and tap into a sense of peace and tranquility that is often difficult to find in our busy, fast-paced lives. To deepen our connection to nature, it can be helpful to spend more time outdoors, whether that means taking a walk in the woods, going for a hike in the mountains, or simply sitting outside and enjoying the beauty of the natural world. It can also be helpful to learn more about the natural world and its many wonders, whether through books, documentaries, or conversations with others who share our passion for nature. Another sign of shifting into the fifth dimension is feeling a sense of oneness. This can be described as a deep sense of interconnectedness with all beings and the universe as a whole. The illusion of separation that often characterizes life in the third dimension begins to dissolve, and we recognize that we are all part of a greater whole. In the third dimension, we often see ourselves as separate individuals, defined by our individual experiences, thoughts, and emotions. We may see the world as a competitive, dog-eat-dog place, where we must fight for our place in the world and protect our own interests at all costs. However, as we shift into the fifth dimension, this perspective begins to change. We may begin to recognize that our individual experiences are not separate from the experiences of others, but are rather part of a larger, interconnected web of life. We may begin to feel a deep sense of compassion for all beings, recognizing that their experiences are just as valid and important as our own. This sense of oneness can be a source of profound healing and transformation. As we recognize our interconnectedness with all beings, we may begin to feel a deep sense of love and compassion for all of humanity, and a desire to work towards a more just and sustainable world. To cultivate a sense of oneness, it can be helpful to practice mindfulness and meditation, which can help to quiet the mind and cultivate a deeper sense of connection with the present moment. It can also be helpful to engage in acts of service and compassion, which can help to strengthen our sense of connection with others and the world around us. In conclusion, the process of shifting into the fifth dimension is unique for each individual. However, the signs discussed in this article can serve as helpful guideposts on the journey towards a higher level of consciousness. It's important to trust your own intuition and inner guidance as you navigate this process. Embracing the signs of shifting into the fifth dimension, such as heightened intuition, increased empathy, and a greater sense of inner peace, can help you cultivate a deeper sense of connection with yourself, others, and the world around you. By embracing these signs and following your own inner guidance, you can tap into your own unique path towards a more conscious and fulfilling life. Thank you for watching Starseed TV. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Also comment down below what religion or belief you are and which part of the world you're watching from. Thank you with love and gratitude. See you in my next video.